Little Fox.
The Wind in the Willows. Episode 28. Home.
Ratty, please stop!
Shouted Mole again. But Rat was far ahead.
It's my old home.
Cried Mole.
I must go there.
Rat didn't turn back.
Hurry up, Mole.
Rat called without looking.
Oh, please come back!
Yelled Mole. He stood in the road alone. Mole's home was nearby.
Should I go home?
He wondered.
Or should I go with my friend?
The choice made his heart ache. With a sigh, Mole ran after Rat. Finally, Mole caught up.
Won't it be great to sit by the fire?
Asked Rat.
Sure,
Said Mole, dragging his feet. Rat turned and looked at Mole.
Mole, you're tired. Sit down.
Said Rat. Mole sat on a fallen log. His lips trembled and he burst into tears.
What is it, Mole?
Asked Rat, surprised.
Oh, I know it's not cozy like your house,
Sobbed Mole.
or grand like Toad Hall, but it was mine.
What was yours?
Asked Rat.
I went away and forgot all about it.
Cried Mole.
Then I smelled it again.
But what did you smell?
Rat asked.
My home.
Sobbed Mole.
It was my old home. And you wouldn't turn back.
The Wind in the Willows. Episode 29. Finding Home. Rat sat beside Mole on the log.
When I called you,
Cried Mole.
you wouldn't listen.
Rat patted Mole on the shoulder.
You didn't turn back. I had to leave it.
Cried Mole.
I only wanted to see my home again.
I've been so selfish.
Said Rat.
I only cared about my home by the river.
Mole wiped his tears.
Well,
Said Rat.
we're going to find your home.
Rat stood up.
Come along.
He said.
Show me the way.
Oh, Ratty, it's no good.
Said Mole.
It will be dark soon.
We will find your place,
Rat said.
even if we stay out all night.
Rat took Mole's arm and they walked back.
I think I smell it, Rat.
Said Mole. Mole stopped and raised his nose.
Well,
Asked Rat, excited. Mole sniffed his way across a field. He ran this way and that.
have you found it, Mole?
Asked Rat. Suddenly, Mole dived.
Where did he go?
Said Rat. Mole poked his head out of a small tunnel.
It's down here.
Mole said. Rat dived right behind him. Down the dark tunnel they went. The Wind in the Willows. Episode 30. Mole End. Rat and Mole wiggled through the dark tunnel. Before long, it got bigger, and they stood up. Mole struck a match. He lit a lantern hanging from the wall.
Here we are,
Said Mole. They stood in front of a little door. A sign on it read, Mole End,
So this is your home.
said Rat. Mole opened the door. He stepped in holding the lantern.
What a perfect home.
Cried Rat, laughing.
Everything is so tidy and pleasant.
Mole pointed things out.
These are my plants and pictures.
He said.
This is my glass ball.
Mole smiled as Rat looked at his things. Then Mole let out a cry.
Oh no! Dust! It's everywhere! It's on everything!
He said.
I was away from home too long.
Mole sat at his table feeling sad again.
Oh, Ratty, why did I bring you here?
He said.
It's so small and dirty.
But your little place has everything.
Said Rat.
Well, I don't have any food.
Cried Mole.
Don't worry.
Said Rat.
We'll find something.
Rat busily searched the cupboards.
Tuna!
Yelled Rat, holding up a can.
Biscuits!
He shouted, opening a bread box.
It will be a great dinner, Mole.
Rat said.
All we need is a warm fire.
The Wind in the Willows. Episode 31. Dinner at Mole's house. Rat put the tuna and biscuits on the table.
I can't wait to eat.
Said Rat. He busily piled wood in the stove.
I remember now.
Said Mole, jumping up. Mole opened a bottom cupboard.
I left some sausage in here.
Said Mole. Rat set a frying pan on the stove.
Put that right here, Moley.
Said Rat, grinning. Mole put the sausage in the pan.
How did you get such a nice place?
Asked Rat.
Well, my aunt left me the house,
Said Mole.
Wonderful!
Cried Rat.
and I got my plants from the swamp.
Said Mole.
Very nice.
Said Rat.
And I bought the pictures myself.
Said Mole. Mole set the table as he talked. Rat brought the frying pan to the table.
And your glass ball?
Asked Rat.
Someone threw that out.
Grinned Mole.
Can you believe it?
Well, you know what they say.
Said Rat.
One person's trash.
Is another person's treasure.
Laughed Mole. They heard a noise outside.
Who's that?
Asked Rat. Mole listened and heard tiny voices at his door.
I think it's the field mice.
Said Mole happily.
They sing carols at this time of year.
Well, let me see them.
Shouted Rat. He jumped up and ran to the door. Rat's cheerfulness made Mole smile. The Wind in the Willows. Episode 32. The Singing Mice. Mole and Rat opened the door. Outside, 10 young field mice stood in a line.
What fine boys.
Said Rat.
What colorful red mufflers.
Cried Mole. The mice looked up with bright eyes. An older mouse held up a lantern.
Now, 1, 2, 3.
he cried. Together, their tiny voices rose in the air.
Let your doors open wide, even with the snow outside. Bring us in by the fire. You will have joy in the morning. Here we stand in the cold and sleet, frozen fingers and frozen feet. You by the fire, bring us in from the street. You will have joy in the morning.
The mice ended their song and smiled.
Very well sung,
Cried Rat.
Ah, listen.
Said Mole.
The bells.
Church bells rang in the distance.
Now come on in, all of you.
Said Rat.
Yes, come in.
Said Mole, smiling.
This is just like old times. I always give the mice a feast after they sing.
The field mice all hurried inside. They stood by the fire, warming their paws. Mole was suddenly upset.
Rat,
He said,
we have nothing to give them.
I'll take care of it.
said Rat. Rat pointed to the older mouse with the lantern. He was the choir leader.
Come here.
Rat said.
I want to talk to you.
The Wind in the Willows. Episode 33. Amusing the Mice. The choir leader came over to Rat.
Can I help you, sir?
Said the mouse. Rat spoke quietly.
Are the shops still open?
He asked. The mouse nodded politely.
Shops are open late this time of year.
He said. Rat put some coins into the mouse's paw.
Great.
Said Rat.
Go buy us some good food.
The rest of the mice sat down by the fire. Mole was opening his empty cupboards.
Oh dear.
Mole said, shaking his head.
Now,
Cried Rat.
what shall we do for fun?
Mole turned and looked at Rat.
Well,
Said Mole.
these mice are actors too. They did a play about pirates last year.
Really? Let's see.
Cried Rat. The mice whispered together.
Samuel should do it.
Said one, pointing.
Yes, Samuel will do it.
Said the others. One young mouse stood shyly.
Say something from the play.
Said Rat.
Ahem.
Said Samuel.
Go on.
Said Mole.
Don't be shy.
Said Rat. Samuel said. The other mice encouraged him.
You can do it, Sammy.
They said. The young mouse repeated.
Here now, little one.
Said Rat.
Everyone is waiting.
Oh, Rat,
Said Mole.
give him a chance.
Suddenly, the door flew open. The Wind in the Willows. Episode 34. Sweet Home. Everyone turned to look at the door.
What's this?
Said Mole. A big basket of food stumbled in. The basket tipped this way and that. Then Mole saw the choir leader under it.
He can't carry that much.
Mole yelled. Finally, shy little Samuel said something.
Look out!
he shouted. The basket spilled and food rolled across the floor. Surprised, Mole looked around.
Pudding, jam, turnips, potatoes, candy. Where did it all come from?
Said Mole.
The play is over.
Shouted Rat.
Pick up the food.
All the mice scattered.
I got an apple.
Cried one mouse.
Here are some carrots.
Cried another. 2 mice fought over a piece of candy. Rat gave directions to every mouse.
Get the butter dish. Don't forget the napkins. Who has the forks?
Soon supper was ready. Mole took his seat at the head of the table. The mice sat on both sides. Rat sat at the other end.
I can't believe it.
Sighed Mole.
What a happy homecoming this is.
Let's eat.
Cried Rat with his fork held high. The Wind in the Willows. Episode 35. A Wonderful Night.
Dig in.
Cried Rat. Everyone around the table started to eat. No one was shy about passing plates. All the food was tasty.
Hey, Mole,
Said one little mouse.
did you hear about the swamp?
No.
Said Mole.
What happened?
It dried up.
Another mouse answered.
Hey, Mole,
Said a mouse.
do you remember Beaver's house?
Of course.
Said Mole.
It's twice as big now.
Said the choir leader. Mole laughed.
Good old Beaver. He never stops building.
All through dinner, Rat did not say much. He just smiled and ate.
Well, it's time to go.
Said the choir leader. Mole gave his visitors a warm goodbye. The mice left with pockets full of treats. As they went out the door, they sang.
You opened your door so wide, we left the snow outside. You brought us in by the fire. You will have joy in the morning. You will have joy in the morning. You will have joy in the morning.
Rat and Mole watched them leave. The mice's lantern light faded behind the hill.
Ratty, I'm going to bed.
Yawned Mole.
Is it nice to be home?
Asked Rat.
Oh, yes.
Sighed Mole.
It's also nice by the river with you.
Ah, the river.
Said Rat.
But I'm glad to have my home, too.
Said Mole.
Little Fox.